Alright, so welcome to session 56. So who wants to give the recap to Joel since he missed last time?
To
Well,
escape.
we did escape the dream.
I think I
Uh,
was there for that. That's that section, right? I think that
Yeah, it
we
was the
ended
fight with the water
before.
spirits that he missed.
oh, okay. Yeah, anyway, after we escaped the dream, we walked in. The place was trashed, but it was the same temple. And so we started looking around and exploring bits, and we got to the little library place, and that was definitely pretty
Oh,
trashed. But I was
the old Forbidden Library.
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
and
Okay.
that place was pretty trashed. However, I was able to glean a few magical secrets, and I even have, for the purposes of note taking, not for the purposes of casting, pretty much the entire uh, Zorg summoning spell. And then we
Oh,
went
wow.
downstairs. Remember the place where Cyclonin got to and then blacked out and reset?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Anyway, we went down there, and it was basically just this big lake, and it had just this tiny little kind of cat walkway around one side, and then this bridge that went to a big dragon statue in the middle. And so we decided to kind of try and track around the side of it, looking for the artifact and the place of power. And
Gotcha.
then a whole bunch of water spirits jumped up and attacked us,
Right.
and we kicked their ass. It was great. I got to pull some fancy schmancy maneuvers with my brother Clisodis, and we were good. And after that, Cyclonin, in a rather wet form, was able to search around the bottom of the lake, and we found a box. And just so happened that Cyclonin had found the ring off of one of the elders that
Oh, wow.
also happens to fit the key of the box.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
so I
we
accidentally
unlocked-
found your artifact and how to unlock it without really trying.
And so naturally you stole it. Yes, it's now yours.
No, actually, we do have it for you. It was a nice box, though. I kept the box.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. You can have the box. I have no need for boxes.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
technically, everybody decided that you would have absorbed the artifact. So technically, that's already happened. Everybody's got the experience form for it. You should have gotten 2 experience. I think it is automatic though, so I don't think you have to do anything. But if you don't have enough to level, then you do. So you got it.
I have.
You have
Yeah, I have
enough
enough.
to
Yeah. Where's
yeah.
that?
Unfortunately, I forgot to make the thing for it, so I'll have to do that in the future. But you do have it. You do have the experience points for it, and then once I make the thing, then you'll just retroactively have it, and you're able to use it.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, we were
And
waiting.
it's- Yeah, it's
Go
just the hand crossbow, and you're just gonna put some effects and whatnot on it, or whatever it was gonna be, write it out or whatever.
Yeah, I forget the details, but I'll have to make it up for you.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, once we found the artifact, we just basically handed it to Conglomerate and said, "Here you go. Yeah, hope you like it." And then we went back to investigate the water spirits, because we could still sense that there was something oppressive here. And we found out that some religious explorers, whose name escapes me, came down here as well, looking around, and they
Penor.
Penor, yeah, there we go.
Did we meet this person before? That name sounds very familiar.
There's the Temple of Penor, which we are rather close to, which is where your crossbow was to be found anyway, so it's been on the map for a while.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you guys discover that Penor and his group were looking to take over the temple, but it wasn't originally theirs.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, they wound up dying here and got cursed, and
Oh,
so
man.
it was their unsettled spirits that were being the water spirits.
Oh. So we set them
So
free.
we were able to Yeah, we were able to get a greater restoration, remove curse, or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to do that for 2 of the 4 bodies. And
Okay.
then we were kind of tapped out of spells because of the fight and everything else.
Yeah, I hear ya.
So we got out of here
Mm-hmm.
and found a nice big pretty tree. And Cyclonin did something for the first time, which
Oh,
was
before you get to that,
open
do
a
you want to tell
door.
them about the other statue?
Remind me here.
Other
What was the other
statue?
statue?
The other dragon statue?
The one with the
Oh,
bowl.
right. There is another dragon statue, and it's expecting an offering, but I was able to roll just barely good enough on my religion check to figure out that if we don't give it the exact specific right offering, then bad things would happen. And we're not 100% sure what the right offering is, but we know if we just like throw in some gold coins or something like that, then things are going to be bad. But if we can put in the right offering, then things would be good. Now the
Okay.
bowl itself has a little kind of nozzle in the bottom, like this little tube that sticks up. So we're imagining whatever goes into the bowl has to sit on or in this tube properly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I keep imagining it like a bowling ball with one hole would be the object we set in there,
For sure.
if you get the idea.
Okay.
Anyway, we were able to figure that out. I almost forgot that part. And then we're still pretty much tapped out and out of ideas. So Cyclonin led us out of the cave, and we found a nice big tree. And he kind of surprised all of us by saying, "Well, let's go to Cepazos." He snapped his fingers, and this big door opened up in the middle of the tree. And when we stepped through it, we were like 20 minutes away from Cepazos. So we got to sleep at Barrius's house,
Oh,
giving us
well,
a safe place to take an 8-hour hard rest and level up. Which is exactly where we are, so you can probably do that if you want.
Oh, okay. So are we doing the level up like right now?
I did mine last week after session. I think Darcy did as well. So I believe Cyclonin's seriously considering it, and if you want, you can. Or you can at least say you did and then level up at a convenient time.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I don't think there's too much for me to choose from. I'll pull up my level up guide and whatnot. But yeah, I'll probably say I would have leveled.
All right, you
So
can do
that-
your level up now then, because
Yeah, I'll just do it like on the side.
Yeah, so you know how to do the level up?
Yeah, I should be fine. Yeah,
Okay.
we should be becoming level 13, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing that Ranger has is there's no new class features or anything. I don't think so. It's just I get access to 4th level spells. So if any of you have any level spells, shoot them my way. I'm going to be making a decision on that probably at some point during the session.
Do I even have ranger spells listed? I do not. All right.
You're not ready. It's okay.
Most
I'll
of
do
them
it.
are
I'll do
probably
it.
going to be from the Druid spell list.
Oh, if they're from the Druid
That's-
spell list, then you're fine. If they're not from the Druid spell, if you have some that aren't from the Druid spell list or aren't any other list, just let me know. I'll just add them to the list.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
Ranger does have a few extras sprinkled in that aren't on the Druid spell list, but
If I
most
pick
of
one of
them-
those, then we'll, go based off the text if I really need to use it. But I think it should be fine. I'm not worried.
Fair enough. So while you're leveling, so you guys went back to Cepazos, and you decided to stay with Barrius' family. At least most of you did. Cyclonin, what were you up to overnight?
Well, I guess based on what I've got currently, I think I would have kind of done that. Yeah, I guess I would have rested for an hour, then gone ahead and hiked over to the nearby mountains. changed into an earth elemental, then go ahead and hunt for a nice little sufficiently sized kind of crevice aperture, some sort of like more or less sealed-ish off cave thing. Then I would have gone ahead and, kind of selectively using the burrow capability in Earthglide to sort of seal that up, rest there for the night, and then after coming out of the coma, then go ahead and change back and merge my way out and come back to meet the others.
All right. So, as far as I remember, you were. Hold on. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So, from what I remember, you guys all went to sleep together. So, when do you go back, Cyclonin? In the morning.
Look at a map here. Okay. Given the circumstances, taking an hour. Okay, an hour to rest, which I could have done before we all actually went to sleep, so we won't count that. But looks like about an hour to get out to the mountains, where I probably would have better luck with that. Then count the 8 hours of sleep. I don't know how long it would take me to find something like that. I do have tremor sense, so for what it's worth.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a survival or a nature check then. Okay, with the 27, we'll say you found it within maybe half an hour.
Alright, so space an hour, 30 minutes for that, 8 hours for the rest. An hour back, so call it 10.5 hours.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly when you guys got back, but I do remember it being relatively late. So we'll probably say that he'll probably get back maybe an hour after everybody else wakes up then. Okay, so everybody else, you wake up at Marius's place, and you notice Cyclonin is gone. So what do you do, if anything? But he's not dead. He's gone, but not dead. So what do you do, if anything?
Weird.
Is it really so uncommon?
No, cats like to wander. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, they do. Especially this particular one.
Yeah. Piston, I'm sure he has plans to check in.
We know there's something bad happened.
Yeah, seems to be fine.
Besides, he likes wandering off as a cat does.
Alright, so you're currently in your rooms. You know that about this time, it's about 7 in the morning, about this time the servants will be setting up some sort of light breakfast downstairs. So what do you guys do?
We'll go downstairs and be getting some breakfast.
Say that one more time.
We'll be going downstairs and getting some breakfast, at least I will be.
Alright.
Yep.
So you go
Yeah, I'm
downstairs.
not mad at that.
And
Same.
you see Barrios and Onone are already down there. You can see them they're kind of just sitting down as you go down the stairs. And Barrios waves you over and says, please join us.
Ah, it smells delicious. I cannot say no.
Have a seat. The servants tell me one of them checked on you last night just to make sure everything was okay, and said you were sleeping like the dead. You must have been quite tired. A big adventure, perhaps.
Oh yes, we were definitely very tired, but after a sleep that's solid, we are refreshed, renewed, and rejuvenated.
He has you take a seat, and they put some food in front of you. So some basic slices of ham, olives, and bread, some cheese, and some watered down wine. And as they're putting that out, he, as Barry's looking around, And Arigato, he still sleeps?
No. Something tells me he has been out all night, caterwauling.
Restless, I see. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll return at some point. So, where did you go this time?
We found the Temple of Binur. Unfortunately, the place was, under a bit of a dark influence, but we did a pretty good job cleaning it up, and we will be going back very soon to finish the job.
Very well. Sounds interesting. Everybody, go ahead and make sure you do your long rest if you haven't already. And I got to be right back.
So what are we having for breakfast? I missed that color.
Shoot. I know it smelled good, but I was busy typing to you. Darn it, I missed it.
By the way, the 7 4th level spells I see for Ranger are also on the Druid spell list, so no matter which one you take, you should be good to go.
Okay, good. Nature.
I
Yeah, I will look at all of these spells in a second. Yeah, I guess
sorry
this is a
about
good
that.
time
I'm
to-
back. Alright, so you guys eat your breakfast. It'll be about an hour before Cyclonus shows up, so do you guys talk about anything or do anything during that time?
Nom 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 food.
Yeah, get some food.
I think we're gonna probably make some small talk. Barius, I am actually very glad that you've not had need to use that little bell. But I'm sure it is a comfort to have nonetheless, yes.
Yes, I'm very glad to have something like that. It may come in handy. I have been speaking with the Archon delicately about things that are happening, and at some point, not today, but at some point, I may involve you, your group, in those discussions.
I was curious, the Archon, you've mentioned him many times. Who is this person and what position exactly does he hold? Is he as magistrate?
Sorry, you gotta
of
speak a
the,
little louder, Tyler. Say that again.
Sorry. Yes, you've talked many times about this Archon. I was curious as to who he was and what exact position that he might be holding. I mean, is he like the magistrate or mayor of the city? And who is this person?
You can think of it that way. An Archon is a position. It is essentially the leader or lord of a town. He communicates directly with the government in Katniss, and is the main representative of the government within the town.
And who is this particular Archon? I mean, is he a good person? What is his name maybe? Does he hold allegiances or alliances? How do you feel about this man?
He is experienced. I can't say that we always see eye to eye, but Archon Ismenios does try his best to look after the people and keep and look out for the best welfare of Cepesus. We don't always agree what that is exactly, but he is rather old and set in his ways. But he is at the same time intelligent and given enough time, is willing to change.
Interesting. Has Judge met Melios before?
As Menios? No, you have not.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and put the I'll put the name in there because you guys probably heard of him before. In fact, in the Cepezas daily events, last time you looked at that, it had his name in there as well. So you would have had you would have definitely seen it.
Okay. Yeah, because the name sounded familiar, but if I had met him at the party, or
You
anything
probably
like
read
that,
it in the events thing.
as Menios. Okay.
Okay,
Well-
so you're so roughly an hour passes as you're talking. You talk a bit about the Archon and various other things. And Cyclonen, when you go back to Cepezas, where do you go?
I'll go back to meet with the others, but I assume I have to make a constitution roll or something.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you guys did the traveling and you didn't trust. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a Constitution save. DC 12, I think.
It's probably a little higher than that. Not that I made it anyway.
Alright, so that means you gain a level of exhaustion. Alright, so yeah, you arrive back at the Barrios estate and you're let in and you can see everybody else kind of finishing up their breakfast. And everybody else, you see Cyclonen being led in by a servant. So what do you do, if anything?
You need return.
Good morning.
Barrios says, "Oh, do you wish to eat? I can have them bring out more food."
It is tempting, but I do not want to inconvenience anyone.
"Oh, it is no inconvenience. Sit." And he calls over a servant, and they go running off.
Alright, I'll kind of groggily sit down.
Unfortunately, I do have business today, but Anone will be here, and you can take all the time you need. Don't be in a rush. And Arigato, it is good to see you once again. I would have liked to speak to you more, but perhaps another day. And then he whispers something to Anone, and then kind of heads off.
Okay.
And Nona kind of sits there drinking her wine and just kind of, listening as the rest of you talk. So what do you guys talk about?
Just out of curiosity, could any of us hear what he whispered to Anone?
If you're trying to eavesdrop, you can, so two things. If you're trying to, it's quiet enough. Barrios seems to be, he kind of understands, that other people are going to be listening into what a person like him is going to be talking about. So he knows how to whisper and make sure the person hears him, but nobody else does. However, if you're trying to eavesdrop, you can give me a stealth check to see if anybody notices, and a perception check to see if you actually hear it.
All right. My stealth check. I'm curious as to how stealthy Gavel would have to be. Because if he hears it, he can tell me mentally.
Gavel
and he
wouldn't
has
have
very
to be stealthy
good-
because he can just be nearby, but he still needs to make a perception check.
Not a problem. He makes his perception checks with advantage.
And it is
'cause
hearing,
that's
so if
what
he has
elves
advantage
do.
on hearing, he would have advantage on this.
Yes.
Okay, so you heard whispering. I have to meet. I have to meet with the Archon, and after I am done, I have some other business at the vineyards. I will be back this evening. Please entertain our guests, and then that was it.
Alright. I do want to check, not because I do not necessarily distrust Barrios, but I never actually got the chance to ask him just exactly how much of us he shares with his Archon.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you now that you have that, and he's like I said, Anone is just kind of sipping her drink and just kind of munching and relaxing. So what are the rest of you talking about or doing, if any?
You look a bit tired there, my friend. I trust your night was successful for your endeavor.
It was uneventful. I'm debating on what to do about the other cursed individuals.
Well, I did think we can go back and relieve them of this burden and sanctify the area. I was a bit curious to try and figure out the dragon statue. Judge would know. Is there a library here in town that might have that information, religious information?
There is. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There is a library in town, but you highly doubt it would have anything useful for that particular situation.
Okay. Perhaps the Oracle then. But yes, to figure that out would be interesting. I have many reasons to go to the Oracle anyway, but what about anybody else? I'm feeling refreshed. Well, except for you. Perhaps you would like the day to rest and relax and perhaps recover a bit more?
I don't know. I'll figure that out.
Well,
So, Conglomerate, what do you think about your new artifact?
I'm excited to try it. I don't know what to think yet, but it's nice to be more powerful. I definitely feel more comfortable if we're gonna run into other maybe not as friendly pantheons. I think we're in a good position to be able to handle that situation, I think.
yes.
I agree.
So I'm excited to try it out. I am quite excited to be in town. I'll have to see. You were out, Cyclonin? Do you know if any members of Gizzard and I of our flock have reached, how they're doing? It's been a little bit since we
Yes,
got to check in on them, and I'd love to see what they're up to.
so would I.
Well, that wasn't Catanese.
No, I know, but we kind
Um,
of told them to expand. So I was wondering if
Oh.
any of the missionaries have made their way here yet.
The
So,
cult is
are-
growing.
Yes, our cult is growing, and soon
I
we
sure
have big
hope so.
plans for them.
Yes, huge plans.
Be
Big
careful
plans.
how you plead people.
What was that,
So
Darcy?
originally you were not impressed with the person in charge of this cult. You have been able to call them in and control them? Or did you replace them?
No, I think we are kind of controlling him. Humans are funny creatures.
That they are.
But he seems to be. I'm not the greatest judge of character, but I don't sense any maliciousness from him. I think he is a rather simple but extremely devoted man who really wanted this to be his purpose. And even when we were trying to make him go away, he was just too devoted. So I thought, why destroy something when you could use it to further our plans? And he seems more than
Exactly.
happy to accept guidance from us when we
That
get
he
into them.
does.
Very, very nice.
Yeah,
I'm
a
quite
subtler touch. I
impressed.
learned that from you, Judge.
Oh,
You have only
thank you.
yourself to blame for what happens. No, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
it's true though.
Well, I will leave it in your capable hands, and I'm very impressed with the progress you are making. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yay!
Oh yeah. So yeah, we should check and see if there are any missionaries at some point today, Gizzard, because we need to get into contact with our boy at some point and tell
Oh
him
yeah, we do.
about our new plans.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I believe I have a friend here that I will be looking in on a little later in the market. If anybody else wanted to join me, that's just fine.
Ah, yes, you had plans for Vulcan, huh?
I do like him. He is a very interesting and unique individual, and I see the promise, and I wish to get to know him better.
One question I have is Zanone still here, or have we been kind of left our own devices?
She's still sitting at the table, munching and
You're not
drinking.
coming through audio
No.
wise.
She's still at the table, munching and drinking. She does seem to be listening, but what language are you guys speaking? I probably should ask that first.
Well,
we
at least some
usually-
of it was in.
Yeah, don't we usually, when we're talking to each other, go to Celestial just in case whatever we say gets misheard? No one knows what we're on about.
Hmm. It's also just kind of our natural tongue.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, she's definitely trying to listen. Obviously, she doesn't understand anything. You can tell that just by looking at her face. You know, she has this curious, what language are they speaking kind of look on her face. But she hasn't said anything, and she's mostly, just kind of relaxing.
Okay. Well,
So what plans do you have for Vulcan?
I do not know. Miss Darcy has inspired me, but I
Oh,
need to be sure. I would like to check and, talk with him a little. I mean, I do like his point of view, and he is, if nothing else, an absolutely exquisite craftsman. But,
we can always appreciate the crafts.
yes. But, I just wish to make sure he's okay with, loyalty. And where it may lie, before I, do anything more overt. He does seem to be more accepting, though, of, unique happenings, unlike, most of the people in the first village we met, or, with, some of poor Sebastian's, initial shock. But I play into his beliefs and allow that. It is well worth his skill.
Sounds to me as if perhaps you're finding some sort of other divine purpose.
I apologize. Can you please be saying this again?
It sounds like you may be discovering another divine purpose.
Perhaps.
Like a dolphin.
I mean,
It's like a dolphin.
yes, I do know the purpose, but yeah, I do not know if it is discovering a divine purpose for me, but perhaps it could give him some guidance and maybe even help him fulfill in some small way his greater ambitions. I mean, he does believe that he is a god of the forge.
Well, if a craftsman would worship a god, then perhaps why would they do so?
How do you mean?
Well, for instance, people who tend to like pranks and practical jokes and being mischievous often tend to worship gods of mischief and such. And, you know, people who are practitioners of, you know, of stagecraft, acting, music, performance, you know, tend to worship the gods that, you know, appreciate that sort of thing. And I look over at Darcy while I'm saying that.
I also kept philosophy and creative invention. All creative endeavors do not limit me.
Well, that I do understand, but considering he believes himself to be such a god,
Well,
would he
I am not
worship another?
proposing that you become the god of delusion or anything.
No.
But keep in mind, it is one thing to believe it. It is another thing, in the absence of anything else, it is another thing to be shown the way. And besides, considering what this disgusting tournament is for, if we do manage to ascend as, you know, is the goal, well, the Elder Gods do have their underlings, which at one point we were, you know. Vulcan may yet become a god if he believes hard enough. If you wish it to be so.
I suppose so.
Yeah, if we come out of this thing, who knows? A bunch of our followers might have some upward mobility, so to say.
And to get
Interesting.
back
Like-
to my original point,
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
if a craftsman were to worship you, I mean, you have taken interest in him. His craftsmanship does seem to be a significant part of that. So it seems to make some sense that perhaps you would want to be the thing that such craftsmen would aspire to.
Perhaps I should endeavor to be a little more broad-skilled than similar to Miss Darcy here with the range of my. Interesting.
And there is something to be said for inspiring people that create things. I've seen too much death and destruction in my day, and it does feel that it is time to rebuild. And even if someone
Yes.
is somewhat touched, you know, if they can make things better than when they found them, that seems to be a worthy goal.
Yes. Well, it is not a bad idea. Perhaps we can start with just trying to become better friends. And I will contemplate how best to do this. Not to step on the toes of creativity, but architecture, craftsmanship, skill. To be skillful. I like this.
It's been about 20 minutes since Cyclonin has returned and Barius left. And so you can see Onone's finishing her drink and she stands up and she kind of nods your direction. She says, the servants will see you out, but I do have matters to attend to of my own. And then she kind of wanders off into the house.
Of course, thank you for your hospitality.
You're welcome.
Have an excellent day. Just out of curiosity, do we have some privacy now?
Yeah, I mean, in the around the corners you can see, servants, looking on, but they're obviously keeping themselves out of earshot and out of the way, like you'd expect.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pick a far I just want to make sure that I'm somewhere where the servants aren't walking past. I'm basically gonna like throw my pack up on the table. I'm gonna take my book out. I'm not calling it a codex. Well, actually, I guess it was a codex, and they made it. All right, I'll call it a codex. I'm taking out my codex, and with my pack in the way so that the servants can't see what I'm doing, I'm just gonna go ahead and start looking through it, and I'm gonna start spending 10 minutes casting scrying. And I'm only trying to hide this from the servants, not anybody else.
Okay, fair enough. Make sure I'm audible. Yeah, so fair enough. I'm gonna say that yeah, if you go and you intentionally hide it, you probably have enough skill that you don't have to roll. So you do hide it from the servants. So who are you trying to scry on?
I'm gonna go ahead and try and scry on Syconin.
Okay. So.
Oh, your OG form.
What I'm going to do then is I'm going
I
to
am-
roll. They have a saving throw against your spell save DC, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and roll his saving throw. So he gets a 19. What's your spell save DC?
I think he made it. Yeah, it looks like it's 17.
Okay, so you attempt to scry on Cyclonin, but it doesn't work.
So, who were you trying to look upon? Did you find a lead for another pantheon, or perhaps a hot location for the Zork?
I was trying to scry on my patron. Now that I know that he is in fact still alive, or at least he was as of a couple of weeks ago, I am now curious to
How did you come
see
by
what he
this
is doing.
knowledge?
Well, it turns out that a great deal of things can happen when one is dead. When I came back, you may recall that I, suddenly had a reason to go to the Tower of Menace. It's, because I was spoken to, even in this apparent death. But that is not the only thing that happened. When there was a point, I was suddenly in a field. Well, more of a forest, I suppose, but I heard voices behind me and turned around, and there they were. There was my patron, there was your patron. They had their familiars with them. They actually came back from wherever they were, at least that is what I dreamed. I believe it to be true, but I kind of want to see for myself. And it occurs to me
What
now
good
that I
would
do.
What good would this do? Why? Just to torture yourself? As you are very much aware, they did abandon us both. In different ways. I have my own reasons, but why?
I spent centuries preparing for their return. While I had guardianship over their respective domains, and it eventually became that people just associated me with them, but in my mind they were never mine. I considered the people my own, but not the domains. I always expected that one day they might come back, and I wanted to be there when that happened. And while I failed at my goal there, I did not fail by as much as I thought I might have, or so it would seem. But, those people, they suffer a lot. They live a hard existence. And what happens to them is still important to me, even now, with no ability to do anything about it. I want to see if the wait was worthwhile, if they are taking
Yes.
care of the people as I would have myself.
Yes, I see this. We fall just in time for them to return, and you want to check on them to make sure they are doing what they need to be doing. This is very responsible. Very godlike. Even though you cannot help your people directly, you're trying to make sure that there is someone there who can do so. Okay. Very
Well, it
nice.
does appear, though, that Psychonin is a difficult target, though, assuming that he is, in fact, alive. I am thinking
Well,
that
you can
perhaps I
always
should try and scry on your patron.
I was going to say, you can always try, Rage. Just think of self-centered greedy.
Well,
Before that, Cyclonin, was
you're not
that
gonna do it.
a sorry? Before that, Cyclonin, was that a ritual or was that a normal spellcast?
It would have been a normal spell cast. I don't think it exists as a ritual, so I'm still going to mark off the slot. In fact, let me just do this.
Okay, fair enough.
I know what the hell. Alright, hold on. I'm going to make a change here. Distribution. So, compare that.
So everybody else would have seen Cyclonin casting as ritual. I mean, you guys know what magic looks like, so you see him kind of go around the corner and hide behind his pack, but the rest of you can kind of recognize, you know, what he's doing. You've seen it before. So, does anybody else make any comments after hearing what Cyclonin is doing?
Probably just sip of wine and munch it on grapes, just observing.
Okay.
Same. I'll munch on some grapes with you.
Mm-hmm.
Crunch, munch.
Alright. Well, with that out of the way, then I'm going to go ahead and. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I just realized something.
Yeah, you should have had a bonus, but since we already went past that, we'll just apply it next time. I totally forgot about it too.
Alright, well, I'll go ahead and cast a second time, this time on Rage.
So what bonus would you have on Rage?
That would also be the -5 on the save, because I know the target well.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
So with a 0, you succeed. Because he has a Rage, of course, has a bonus, but with a -5, it cancels out, and there you go. All right. So you see Rasiri walking through a lifeless wasteland. The few plants that can be seen are long dead, their dried limbs poking from the dirt. There are no signs of life, no birds, no insects, nothing. Rasiri is accompanied by a small lava elemental. After several minutes, he approaches the ruins of an abandoned settlement, towering over the decrepit buildings. Suddenly, Rasiri's head snaps up and brings a metal fist close to his chest. As the vision fades, you see the fist begin to change shape as he steps forward deliberately.
Well, looks like he has gotten himself into another fight. I am not recognizing that place. Might you?
That looks very familiar to me. That looks like the undead wasteland surrounding the Crystal Tower.
The Crystal Tower, oh yes. It
Is
fell so
interest-
long ago.
It's interesting that he is alone. But, suppose there is much to do.
Well, if he is there and preparing for battle, then perhaps he can also be a champion for the peoples.
Well,
If
he has been
decides not
before.
to sacrifice them.
In fact, if they are to be believed, it sounds like they did save a bunch of people from wherever it was they were trapped.
Really? So they got
Yeah.
trapped. The Great Cyclonin and the Great Rage allowed themselves to be trapped? Who was so clever?
Yeah, does appear someone outsmarted them, but they seem to have survived their predicament. But it is good to see that, well, at least for certain, one of them is back. And it does look like Rage is keeping himself busy. This is good. This does lift a bit of a burden off of me. I was
Well,
very concerned about the welfare of the people. I mean, one thing you must understand is that there are people that are trapped at that tower. They cannot leave because if they do, they will be hunted to the point of extermination. As difficult as that life is, that is all that they have. And it was just that little scrap of existence that I continued to fight for. But
I do understand, and I am happy for you. If even one such as my patron, whom I personally do not trust, can bring you a peace of mind and perhaps help the peoples, then perhaps there is some good to be had from him as well. Does not
It
mean I
remains
have
to be
personally
oh.
like him.
Well, certainly, I'm sure he has made many of enemies in his day.
I do not consider him an enemy, but I cannot call him a trusted friend.
I would not expect you to do so. But as long as it was worth holding out for them, that is what matters. If anyone can change the scape of the world there, it is them. They have done it before, that they have had the resourcefulness to survive their capture this long, and perhaps they can do so again.
Yeah, there is one thing they were always good at was creating change. You know, I think it
Indeed.
was a mistake. I know for a fact it was a mistake. Rage would have made an excellent agent of chaos. But perhaps useful. Especially when change must occur.
Well,
I'm glad I am not like him.
I think you are more like him than you would care to admit. But you are your own person, and you now have the opportunity to be that person. That is part of why I asked earlier about the, that focus. You know, what it is that Vulcan would aspire to. Because for the first time in your life, you have that freedom. You can make that decision who you want to be.
Yes. I like to think I am better than my patron. I will lay down my life for any one of you, for any of my family and friends and my pantheon. Something he was unwilling to do for his own child. Well, so to speak, I was never a child.
Alright, it's been about half an hour since Cyclonin returned. You've cast your 2 spells. So what are you guys going to do next?
Are you going to visit Vulcan?
Yes, I am. I suppose if anybody else would like to be coming to the market, I noticed the 3 of you have been rather quietly watching our discussion of our patrons.
I'm sure Conglomerate was enamored by the animated picture book.
Very graphic. I like
So
it.
graphic.
Kodak, where you get to ignore all the words.
Yeah, it's
There you
perfect.
go.
Everything he wanted in a book. Nothing but
Exactly.
pictures.
That's how every book should be. It conveys so much more information than squiggly lines that mean nothing.
Okay. All right.
Someone's
Animated.
definitely a visual learner here.
A learner?
A
What's
We
visual-
use that term loosely.
Okay.
A visual watcher. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Observer.
I mean, technically, a dog or a cat can learn. So
Yeah, that's fair. I learned tricks.
Yeah.
There you go.
And actually, I am thinking you would learn a lot more and a lot better than you are giving yourself credit for.
That's
I'd
fair.
agree with that.
When I first met you, you used only a glaive. You've learned that you are much more suited for long range and learned how to use such an object.
I'm not sure I
It's a-
really learned. I kind of come preset with different fighting blueprints. Most of my people do.
Blueprints.
Like, like we just know that. I just know that. I didn't
Like this
really have to
genetic
learn
memory
it.
you speak
I
of?
guess so.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can see my ancestors fighting this way, so I know how to do it. Even though
Yeah.
I guess you may be right though, because somebody had to be the first one to learn it, so I guess we just kind of slowly accumulate more stuff.
Well, he is not the first
There you
person
go.
to abandon the glaive as a fighting weapon. And I go ahead and take mine, snap it in half, and lay the pieces on the table.
Well, between us,
who-
he is the first. But
Yeah, I did it.
you
just
follow
That's
very
true.
close.
Yeah, you're just following. I'm just the trendsetter. You're following in my footsteps.
You're with the
That's
program.
See? You pay more attention to Miss Darcy than you think. Always setting the newest fashions, yes?
Yeah, that's fair.
I go ahead and mend my glaive back together.
Can't bear to see it broken.
It is easier to carry as one piece.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Just before we're getting ready to go, Judge would like to try and evaluate this box. It's very heavy. It's got this fancy ring key type thing going on. It's waterproof, padded on the inside. It's a very, very nice box. But he would like to look at it with more of an arcane appraisal than a gold value appraisal. Fully understanding that this probably won't just fit the bill right away. How close do I think this thing might be to fulfilling the need for a secret chest spell?
Can you bring that up the spell
Oh,
so
sure.
I can take a look?
Hold on half a second. I would do that. Bum, 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 bum. Come on, Plur. There we go. Come on. Come down here.
Well, Judge is getting his spell ready. Is anybody else doing anything before you leave?
Nope.
Yeah,
I
not
don't
me.
think so.
You left your computer
Like,
on.
how much would I have to do to it? What kind of modifications would need to be made to make it suitable? I mean, I do have the ability to get some other rare things. I can get a few pieces of unique bone here and there, stuff like that, if necessary.
So obviously the big chest doesn't give you the tiny replica, clearly. So you'd have to get somebody to make that. And the chest itself, I would say it's fair. It is sturdy. It is waterproof. It does have some arcane elements already. So I would say that it covers roughly half the gold price. Um, yeah, so you'd have to basically come up with 2,500 Mithna worth of rare materials to, kind of adorn it with, and glyphs or whatever makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, roughly half.
Alrighty, inventory. What do I actually have at the moment?
And at that point you're just adding to the existing chest. The core thing is done. You're just building on top of the chest. You don't have to make it any bigger or anything. It's already plenty big enough.
Yeah, it's already plenty big enough. It's waterproof. It's padded on the inside. I'm basically just adorning it.
Yeah, you're blinging it up.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Add enough bling to kind of bring it up in.
But in as far as game terms, I would imagine you're using rare materials like gold, silver, or gems, that kind of thing, in order to construct arcane glyphs and that kind of thing. So something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, if you want to leave, you guys can go ahead and move your token and figure out where you want to go.
I think I will tag along. Gizzard, do you want to go to the marketplace or the temple or something and see if our people have made it out here?
I would love to. Let's see what's going on at the temple first.
Let's do it.
Darcy's gonna go with them because she wants to see how this mess is happening.
Yeah, you could come.
From one soap opera to the next.
Has Judge gone anywhere yet?
No, they're just deciding where to go.
No. Judge is gonna let them go off and do their thing. He wanted to hang back and say something to you, I guess, after doing some thinking about his box.
All right, so you're gonna hang back and do what?
Talk to Cyclonin more.
Okay, so you and Cyclonin are gonna separate from the rest of the group then. All right, no problem. So I'll just go ahead and put two tokens. This one here, I'll just put like a little symbol on it, like you can do. They got little, they got colored dots or something. Or am I thinking of a different game system? Targeted. We'll do targeted. All right. So the targeted token would be Cyclonin and Judge. The other token will be the rest of the group. So who's gonna move for the rest of the group? I nominate Conglomerate.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you guys can decide.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't really remember where.
I'm not sure if you guys have been to a temple here yet, so I don't even know if you know where one is.
Okay, well then let's go. I'm gonna just kind of go up to this. Is this one us? Is that one me? Are we the left one or the right one?
You're the one that's not targeted.
This one that I'm moving.
No, you're the other one. The targeted one is Cyclonin and Judge.
Oopsie. This one.
Oh, okay. I can't move that. My movement is still broken.
Oh, it is?
Been very
okay, let
weird
me see if I can
fix
it. Let's see, which token is this? This one here.
This might be a problem on my side, because this is the second time that this has happened. Which is very strange.
Then you have the group local. There it is. Let's see, ownership.
Oh, now I can get it.
You're an owner, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe my Wi-Fi is just being weird, but we will. I'll have to call the company at some point. Anyways, I'll just go up to this crowd of people and
Yeah, you see some
say,
people walking down the street, and you walk up. What do you do?
"Hey, is there a temple around here? Where I'm a new traveler."
One of the
Where are the
people
temple?
stops and thinks for a moment, and he says, "Yes. Do you know where? Do you know where the Archon's place is?"
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Archon.
That's fine. Is the Karametra Shrine good enough?
That sounds fine. That sounds
That
good.
does sound fine.
Do you know where the farmers market is?
Yes, I think I've been there.
All right. So if you go to the farmers market, you will see a set of stairs that leads up between several buildings. And then
Uh-huh.
if you continue to follow those stairs to the east, you'll see a round building with a red roof. That is the Karametra Shrine.
Oh, okay. Okay, then we will start heading there. I think the farmer's market was that top right bundle, and then yeah, that would be the big red circle. Okay, let's head towards that.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so you start heading for the farmers market.
Gonna start slowly walking us over.
As you
Oh,
see, you can see people kind of walking around. A lot of them are heading toward the Agora at this point in time.
Oh,
Looks like you were having some connection issues. It might be the server.
yeah, I think my connection with the server is being weird, which is strange because I'm not having any problems over Discord, which normally that would be like the first thing to go.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
It could be something to do with the route specifically to that server, or it could just be that. Have you reset your Foundry? Is this a new Foundry where you just loaded it up, or is it the same one you had running?
Yeah,
before?
I just loaded it
Oh,
up. I
okay,
can
yeah, it's
still
probably not
try
that
to
bad.
do something else, but it is saying that like occasionally a message will pop up saying like connection lost, which is
Okay, yeah.
strange.
So there does seem to be some sort of connection issue between you and the server then for some reason.
Yeah, am I remembering correctly that this is just an archway that we can
Yes.
kind of walk
Yes.
underneath? Okay,
And you should actually go underneath it if you walk through. There you go.
cool. So while we're walking through those big crowds of people, I would like to be making perception checks to see if I hear anybody talking about our little religion.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
fair enough.
I'll help. I will assist.
All right, so you can roll either separately or you can have one of you roll for advantage.
Is your perception good, Gizzard?
My perception is pretty good. Let me double check that though.
And let's just roll separately.
Yeah, my perception is pretty solid.
Then
Okay.
yeah, let's just both roll separately.
Rolling.
Okay, so Gizzard has a 19, and Conglomerate, go ahead and roll just so I can see
Yeah,
what
I'm
you got before I start
trying.
talking.
There we go. Oh, it opened 18 million times. Okay, I hit roll, so we'll see when that decides to do its thing.
Fair enough. I guess while we're waiting for the
Weird.
roll, you find yourself going up the stairs. You see that it kind of branches off both directions, but you can kind of make out a fairly tall building with a red roof.
Mm-hmm. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
go token.
Looks like everything frozen.
Oh, is that me?
No,
No.
my roll went through.
Yeah, no, it's definitely me. It's definitely a me problem. But I'm confused as to how it is because it doesn't seem to be a general, like, internet connectivity problem.
Yeah, fair enough. So you're rolling perception, right? I can just roll it then. Alright, you got a 20. Alright, so Gizzard, from what you hear, you hear that there was a couple of pilgrims that came in recently, perhaps a couple of days ago, and they were Apparently, they were making a big fuss at the square, basically where you guys passed. Or sorry, not square, but the big fountain, where the big crowds are, as you would expect.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it seems like they weren't getting a lot of traction. And one of them happened to be a hothead. And from what you understand, he might still be in prison.
Whoa.
Conglomerate,
Why?
you hear similar things, but you hear somebody saying that some priest of a new order is coming personally to see the message spread, but he hasn't arrived yet.
Okay. I think that they might be talking about us. We should go visit our follower in prison then at some point.
Yeah.
Check out this temple. We need to make sure that they're doing things by the books. I don't want them putting out a bad name for us.
Agreed.
Your followers are in prison.
One more time.
So you cut out a little bit. What was that?
Your followers are in prison.
Well,
This one
they might.
is.
This one. Look, we got a lot already. All right. We have a very
Yeah.
aggressive growth strategy, so maybe I'll tell them to tone it back. We'll tell them to tone it back a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't tell them that.
And what exactly is your message?
Well, that the gods have returned, and that we have, bidding for them, and that we will love and care for them, among other things. There's that
Yeah.
we will be revealing ourselves to them soon. It's still all very fresh. We barely had a week to establish ourselves with these guys.
Exactly.
So, we'll get it going.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Just-
I think
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. We'll go talk with them and we'll see what's up with the guy in prison. We'll talk with the head honcho. Make sure that everything's going good by the books.
There we go.
Because obviously they should be trying to convert people, but
Of course.
we don't imprisoning ourselves this early on. Maybe not the greatest idea. Although
Oh, I mean, it's alright, I guess.
there might be some issues with that later on with our plan, but it'll be fine. We'll get there when we get there.
But be careful. You wouldn't want your little cult to be considered a bunch of lunatics that need to be locked away, or your following will die as quickly as it's sprouted.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm concerned about.
For sure.
We'll be careful to cultivate a culture of respect, I guess. I don't know. We'll talk to them.
Alright, so you guys could finish moving toward your destination. In the meanwhile, heading back to Cyclonin and Judge. So you guys stayed behind in order to have a discussion. So what is your discussion?
Ooh, okay. Let's see if that fixed some stuff.
You can go ahead first.
Oh,
if you
what?
want,
You
Dave.
need to step away? Okay.
Oh. Is the other half of the conversation not available?
Yeah, apparently not. Sorry.
I'm confused.
Sorry, what was that? Are you trying to talk to us?
I was just asking, is the other half of the conversation not available?
No, I was saying that
conversation?
I guess Dave had to step away, so we'll have to
Okay.
get to their conversation in a minute.
Understood.
Which is fine, 'cause I was looking for a note that I seem to have missed. Alright, so Dave's back. So Cyclonin and Judge went off by themselves to have a conversation. So, what is that conversation, or what are you doing?
I kind of hung back. I could see you looking.
Oh wait, why are we tucked under a frickin' eave?
Oh, that's not us. That's them. We're the other ones.
Thought we were the ones at Target.
Yeah, you're the one at the target. You're right here.
Alright, so I assume we're heading towards Vulcan's place?
Not quite. Yes, we're going to go there to. We are going to go there, but I was thinking perhaps I might need to gather some things first. You looked like you had some more you wanted to be saying.
I do not know. I need to process what is happening now. I mean, I certainly hope that things will get better for everyone at Komire, but of course, even if it is as I hope, it will by no means be an easy fight.
Well,
And,
my feelings aside, I do sincerely hope that the arrival of Cyclonin and Rage do help put your mind at ease. I do understand that you have been very stressed, and I do not know if you realize just exactly how much you have taken it out on the rest of us. It is not always pleasant. We will all, help shoulder this, but if this helps you, I am your brother. We are the Pantheon of the Pantheon. You understand this, yes? Thinking you must do things alone is not it's not necessary.
just kind of stare off in the distance for the time being.
Do I get anything other than staring in the distance? A clue? Can I get an insight? How are you taking this?
Your insight would be lost in thought.
Okay.
The cat is buffering.
Yeah, well,
Well,
it seems like he's dead. Never mind. That's too meta. I'll let you guys have your thing.
well, seeing how he's just kind of stumbling behind me and that lost in thought 1,000-yard stare. Well, I had another thought. Perhaps there is a way you can be helping me with this? This chest is a good solid chest and has some magics intertwined already. Good to be using. But I still need a few more things. How difficult would it be for us to just get the deal in back? Just quickly, if you are able to do this, or if not. I mean, I understand about some spells taking quite a bit out of you, and you do look very tired. So if you decide no, that is okay. But could you be opening another doorway to deal?
Well, the Steeps is in the general vicinity of that anyway, and tonight I need to go past that area to try to find some mistletoe, so perhaps going there is still an option.
Well, if you wait, you need to collect your mistletoe at night, yes?
Yes.
Perhaps, and you connect it tonight or tomorrow night?
Must be tonight.
Okay, well, perhaps the best thing is when the rest get back, we can just go to Deal. We will make sure to bring some provisions. We can have a very good meal. I'll buy some extra bacon provisions, and then you can do your collections, and I can collect from Deal, and from there we can just spend the night at Deal and move on from there in the tomorrow morning. Would that be decent enough? You would only be casting the one spell to get us there, or perhaps flying us if it is not too exhausting.
What is it you are attempting to get there?
I want to get some of the bones of the basilisk.
Hmm.
It was very
Yes,
heavy,
I-
but I do not need the whole skull, which I originally thought might be suitable for a chest to be hollowed out. But now I only need some teeth and fangs, something much easier to carry, not nearly so heavy. I would like to embellish with that and a few things that I do have on my person. And I'll need Vulcan to be making a small replica using the same materials. So perhaps it would be wise to give him all the materials at the same time. Until then, it would not hurt us to stop by and be saying hello. Perhaps put in for the commission. Are you feeling okay?
Not
Judge
especially,
kind of
but
puts his hand on your shoulder.
might as well see how he is doing.
Okay.
You're fucking clearly me. Why is your fucking video not
That's- It sounds like somebody is having a commotion in the
fucking
background.
dumbass
Yeah.
bitch? Stay asleep yet?
Oh, Archie must really be angry at
Fucking
Gizzard
dumb
Conglomerate.
bitch.
True.
Well, with any luck, it is some of the commoners she is upset with, and not those two. I was just hoping to get over a strife.
Oh, well, hopefully it is not Gizzard Conglomerate that is the dumb bitch.
Speaking
Well,
of,
I wouldn't go that
Blizzard
far.
and Conglomerate, going back to you guys, theoretically, if my map would ever scroll. Hold on. Here we go. Now it's working. Sorry, little hitch there. All right, so you've reached the shrine of Karametra. You can see a large round building. Next to the building, there is a square building kind of attached to it, and the building is surrounded by columns, holding up the roof, and behind the columns there's the circular building itself. The doors are open. You can see priests and other people coming and going. So what do you do?
I guess we should just like head on inside and see what's happening in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you
We
head,
don't see anybody outside doing any preaching or anything, right?
not really. You do see people outside, but they're mostly relaxing and chatting amongst themselves.
For sure.
As you approach, you can see that there is signs of nature all about. You can see the pillars themselves. So the columns are they're wrapped in ivy, and you can see that there are plants underneath the roof. Outside the structure. You can see above the door a large cornucopia display.
Okay.
And you can, and next to that, you can see a statue of what looks like almost like a female human, but you would actually recognize it due to being demigods as an Eladrin. So what do you do?
Well, And Eladrin.
Okay. I don't know. I'm kind of out of places here.
So you've reached you've reached the doorway.
Yeah. Let's walk in. Let's see what's going
Agreed.
on inside.
All right.
Take
So
us in.
as you enter, you can see in the center there's a larger version of the statue of the woman. You can see that the woman is her arms are spread wide, and you can see that she's wearing basic robes. And at her feet, you can see various plants that you would find at a harvest.
Okay.
And you see, kind of around her, this kind of scene with sheep and looks like farm life and trees and that kind of thing. And around the statue, you can see a little, a little pool that kind of goes almost all the way around with a little divot in the center where there's an offering table and you see priests. And then around the inside of the dome, you can see painted on there different scenes of the different seasons and various plants that you would expect to find cultivated on a farm.
Huh.
Okay. So kind of a harvest style. All right. Interesting.
Very
Wouldn't be
interesting.
my domain, am I right?
Definitely not. Most definitely not.
Yeah. Well, I don't think this will be too hard to beat then.
It should be pretty chill.
Yeah, no. We
Okay.
have a much cooler religion than this.
Much cooler religion.
All
This
right.
religion, lame.
Yeah, let's go see. Are there any sermons going on? Let's go see what type of.
Okay,
Type
so
of
yeah,
stuff
you can
there's
see
Yeah.
that there's
Not in
there's a priestess talking, and she seems to be talking about the bounty of nature and in general kind of living living in kindness with nature and various almost instructional about things to do for harvest. Talking. It's almost like she's teaching a class on how to be a farmer or run a vineyard or something like that.
Interesting. I'm actually okay with that. That's useful stuff. I kind of like that. Very to the point. I like that.
Yeah. Very, very useful. Maybe we judged them too quickly.
Yeah, I think I was too harsh. This is
Too
definitely
harsh.
extremely useful for keeping the balance and sustainability. I mean, this is all stuff I kind of knew coming out of the egg, but
Yeah.
this
So, I
is.
mean, they're a little behind,
Well,
but
humans are like that. You gotta be understanding with them.
that's true, I guess.
Are you two literally speaking as if you wish to replace this religion?
I don't know
Well,
what you're talking about.
we're not gonna well, that's up to the people, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes,
but,
yes,
like,
we are. We are. We are
but
most definitely.
yeah,
doing
I mean, I'm not saying that it needs to be abolished or anything, but I just think
it.
that
Maybe
the
it maybe it does.
no,
It,
no, I don't think it needs to be abolished. It's just that maybe there's something cooler to attend to.
or
I think
maybe we can
survival-
incorporate them.
I think
Yeah.
survival and being able to cultivate the land to secure survival is more important than makes a big gesture in your direction, whatever this is.
That's actually a very good critique, and I'll take that in stride. That's why I kind of think that you might be onto something, Gizzard. Leaving this alone, people need to be able to understand how to stay sustainable with the land. And
I
if they
think-
need a religion to do that, then this should definitely stay around.
I think that we should just incorporate them as a component of ours.
I
You don't-
suppose that could
You
work.
don't have me fully convinced that you even know what yours is.
Well,
Ours is a tool.
it's
What
actually
it is up to them.
A religion of nothing means nothing.
Who
well,
said
it's
nothing?
not going to be a religion of nothing. We have things to teach. We're just simply observing. And we need to get back to whatever. I'm sure he's preaching a storm about the last stuff we told him. So
I'm
we
sure.
gotta go update our messaging.
Yeah.
We've been locked in a cave for a while. We couldn't exactly update our terms.
And you know, the person creating this religion is not us. We're
And-
feeding the person creating the religion information.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting
If you are not the source,
We are the source, but
We are
we're
the
not. We're
source.
not the conduit.
Yes, exactly. We're not. We can't exactly be hands-on, walking around in God form, talking to these people. We need a human to be delivering our
face.
messages.
Yes.
Exactly.
And interpreter, more important.
Exactly.
He has a skill that not many have.
Exactly.
what is your message?
Well, so we're gonna. Oh, I didn't really want to break this news yet. We're gonna
Yeah.
tell them to start practicing magic pretty soon. We need to end. I'm gonna start training them. We need to get a little bit of a hive-minded army going on pretty soon here, just in case we need to do battle with the Sorg. These people are woefully unprepared, and I
True.
feel it's our responsibility to do our best to protect them and prepare them.
You wish to teach mortals magic. Mortals who
Yeah.
cannot handle the slightest bit of magic, seeing it from us, you want to teach them magic. Something
Well,
they
I mean,
cannot control and
They can.
possibly cannot manifest on their own, let alone without great energy or
Okay,
sacrifice
we
of their
want
own
them to
body.
research it,
yeah, we need them to.
not
We need them to
necessarily
understand.
perform it.
We'll get there later. We first, obviously, these things can't happen too fast. It needs to be a gradual, more understanding society of magic that would then be more accepting of those who can use it.
Exactly.
I think that is beneficial.
I think there is more potential for use of magic in humans than we are assuming, as well.
They're very malleable creatures.
Exactly.
And they are not toys to be played with.
No, and this isn't a game. This is real. The Sorg may descend upon us at any day. Who knows what's going on with that weird ritual that we discovered in the weird, I don't know, time jump. So
You want to
Yeah.
show people magic who most likely cannot use it themselves
Mhm.
without great effort or a boon from one of our kind. In order to what? Then throw them into the maw of these very creatures they are already woefully unprepared for?
Well, we're
Uh,
not actively throwing them in.
We're not gonna.
But
throw
you
them in.
said you wanted to create a hive mind, a army.
Well, that would be more my side of things. They need to be more militarily prepared if Sorg attack. Yes, we can't be everywhere all at once, so I think this is necessary.
We cannot be everywhere all at once, and we cannot certainly train an army of people trying to produce magic when they cannot even manifest it themselves.
Well, you're not even giving us a chance to try. Just
Exactly.
let us try. They may be better than you think. I think you give them too little credit.
I
I
agree.
think you're too optimistic without any show of evidence for your possible.
How do you expect to get the evidence
And if we
Other
haven't even
than-
tried yet.
other than experimentation?
Exactly.
You wish to experiment with the humans.
I mean, technically, you
It's
could
not
phrase it
we're
like
gonna
that
be
if you want to.
performing tests on them, but yeah,
But
a
that's
lot of
what-
what we're doing is
That is
breaking
what
new
an
territory.
experiment is to perform a test.
Well,
It's more that we're going into unknown territory and we're not sure what we're gonna find, and so we can't really speak on it yet until we know, until we get there.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
you don't know what you're doing.
So
How
as
could
you
we?
as you're
Yeah, how
talking,
could you? Exactly.
as you're talking, I'm assuming in Celestial.
Yes.
You see a woman, a priestess, approach. Apparently, during all the talking, you guys are talking for long enough that the whole sermon thing ended. And she approaches, noticing you're kind of all in your own world, and she says, "I do not understand what you're saying, but are you here for the teachings of Karametra?"
Kind of. We were just stopping in to see. We're travelers, and we wanted to see what was happening here.
I see. So what brought you here?
Yeah, we wanted to see the religion. I like it. I think it's very informative.
Very well.
Mhm.
So you are partaking of all religions?
At least being knowledgeable in them is certainly quite useful.
Exactly.
That is wise. After all, many people worship multiple gods.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very useful thing. Well, I'm not personally a farmer, but I thought the information you provided and living in harmony, I really liked. I could really connect with your whole idea of a symbiotic relationship with nature and all that. I really appreciated those aspects.
Well, Karametra is the goddess of harvest. She is wise and evenly tempered. She values community, stability, and the balance of nature. She
Mm.
is the god of maternity, of family, orphans, domestication, and agriculture, as well as defense of the home and territory.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like that. That's kind of cool.
I like that too.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all this information. It's been incredibly insightful.
You're welcome. And then she walks away.
That's a good one. And see, this is what I'm talking about. If they're already primed to be able to worship multiple deities, we might be fine with this one. We might be totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
I don't object to any of the things that she just said. I don't
neither
think that
do
that goes
I.
against any of our purposes.
No. No, it doesn't. I guess we'll see how our mouth feels about it.
Yeah, he might be more in touch with the people. It's probably good to check in with him. We'll have to swing by. Did you hear the people saying that there was going to be a head honcho man coming down here to talk about? We should go to the prison and see what's going on.
Oh, most definitely.
Because if he's
Who is
coming
in prison?
here, yeah, if he's coming here, then we may be able to just intercept him and talk with him.
Exactly.
Well, before you do that, let's check in on Judge and Cyclonin. So, where are you two at?
We're at Vulcan's door, or one of the walls anyway.
Fair enough. All right, so you arrive. You can see, you open the door and you can see that Vulcan seems to be rather busy. You can see that he has a lot of material out, and you can see nearby a number of swords and spears that seem to be brand new. In fact, he's so preoccupied he doesn't notice you enter at first. So what do you do?
Vulcan, my friend.
He stops
Seem
kind
you're
of
very
mid-stroke
busy.
and puts down the hammer, and he turns around. Oh, you've returned. Do you need something else done? Unfortunately, as you can see, I am rather swamped at the moment. I don't know
you
if
seem
you've
very
heard,
busy.
but the Archon has been making demands lately. Lots of new weapons and armor for some reason. What did you need?
I wanted to come in to speak with my friend. You look very busy, but this is not necessarily settling news when weapons becomes the order of the day in mass. Is
Yes,
there,
unfortunately, I am
strife?
not privy. I do not know why exactly, but the Archon has asked for me personally to help with this army, his effort. Apparently, he is putting together a sizable fighting force.
Yes, well, to ask for your assistance is obviously the wisest of choices, but to be putting together such a fighting force, I'm beginning to worry about why.
Well, he He says he has been something about disturbing news from Paris, but if not, like I said, I've not been told much more.
Well, if I can aid you in any way, perhaps to ease your workload some small amount.
Well, he did pay me to do the job, and I plan on doing it personally. I do have some assistance for some lesser things, but for the main pieces, I must do them myself.
Of course. Is there anything unique, or is it just spears and swords?
It's just spears, swords, some armor, that kind of thing. When you're outfitting a larger force, while you want high quality goods, you also need to make many of them quickly. So I must compromise.
Well, even a compromise from you is still better than anyone else I've ever met in Overlands.
Yes, these will serve them well. And you can see some shields as well. You have the tall shields like you would see in a hoplite, soldier. Well,
All right.
is there anything else you need before I return to my duties?
Well, I really wanted to just say hi and speak for a while, as friends, but seeing how busy you are, I will let you get back to your working, and Judge will leave.
Actually, before he can leave, in Celestial, you do not wish to offer your assistance or anything?
I just did. He told me he would do it himself. I was going to leave him some spider bush tea, but I believe we have more to speak of. I'm beginning to become much more wary of this Archon, and I shudder to think Barrius's role in informing his actions.
I was thinking less mundane help, though.
Actually, that would not be a bad idea. Vulcan,
He looks
is there
up
any
here.
other way? Is there any other way that we might be able to be lending assistance?
Well, I do need some straps and other pieces. You can see over there, he points, and you can see there's various other workers. Obviously, less experienced apprentices, that kind of thing. They know what the procedure is. If you want to help over there, I'd appreciate it, but I cannot pay you much.
I wish for no payment, obviously. Wait, perhaps maybe.
I have a
Perhaps maybe
question.
something. Yes, perhaps maybe something. And I kind of lead. Is this just one big building, or is there like a breezeway? Is there
Yeah, there's
hallways?
multiple rooms. There's kind of a central. There's like a small little room where you come in, where you can sit and wait, and then there's the big area where the main forge is, and then there's rooms off to the sides. And I hear people yelling for me, so I'll be right back.
I do have an idea. Temporarily, of course. I choose to not let this be permanent.
I've got a minor idea of my own here. I'm going to ask if they've got anything that's broken that they don't have time to fix.
I need to do a not a 24-hour, but I need to do it tomorrow morning to be able to mend anything. But I can help out
I can mend stuff right
Vulcan
now.
directly. Yeah, I get that. You can mend stuff right now. I can help Vulcan out. Of course, it's going to be temporary, but yeah.
Okay, I'm back. So, what were you saying?
Okay.
Your audio's not coming through.
Oh, sorry. Alright, I'm back. So, what were you saying?
Okay, I'm gonna get to that little breezeway where you can come in and sit down and wait real quick.
Yeah.
Make sure nobody else is in there. I just turn to Cyclonin and say, "Cover me a moment." I take off my backpack. I start rooting around in there, and I pull out the hammer, and I will enchant the hammer.
Okay.
I want to make it to be able to help him craft twice as good, twice as fast, easier with less fatigue to go further. You know what I'm?
Yeah.
You kind of get what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you want to basically improve his stamina and blacksmithing skill.
Yeah, and his speed even. I don't know if that has a factor.
Well,
Able
the
to,
skill will probably improve speed.
Yeah, and I am willing to. Now I can take this back, right? You said that if you empower something, you can take it back.
Yeah, but you'd reabsorb it, and then that thing would no longer have that power. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's why I'm going to talk to Vulcan and make this temporary. But at least for our arrangement, I will temporarily, until he's done, sacrifice Stone's Endurance, an actual feature, not just a cantrip,
Okay.
putting even more power into it.
All right. So as you do that, it's brief, but the hammer glows for a brief moment. So go ahead and give me a stealth check to see how well you're able to cope and hide that.
Okay.
Well,
I
he did
say,
ask for me to distract, so I'll be kind of helping get in the way with that by
Okay.
jumping in and saying and asking Vulcan with
Well, it's a
even the-
breezeway. It's supposed to be a little, room where.
Yeah,
you
so
shut
I'm
the door.
assuming if you're doing that, you're just distracting the people coming and going. Make.
Oh, he's outside.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we're not
not
actually
it's,
outside.
There's a main room, and then it's kind of off toward the door, and then so there's like a doorway between the main room where Vulcan is and then this area. But it's still there's still people around, so there's people to distract, but it won't be Vulcan. Vulcan won't be able to see it from where he is.
Okay, but yeah. just
So
cover me,
if that's the case, if Cyclonin is specifically trying to distract people, what I would do is you can make the stealth check at an advantage, and either of you can make it based on whoever you think would have the better skill at it.
How you doing there with stealth? I'm at a +5.
+7.
I'll
Although admittedly,
defer
you're the
to
one
you.
trying to be sneaky.
All right. I'll go ahead and go at advantage.
Sure.
And I'm assuming I didn't get a chance to cast.
No, because you probably weren't expecting it to glow. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a surprise.
I'd
But with
be
the
sure
20,
to
you
know.
succeeded anyway. So yeah, you were able to, it's like all of a sudden it starts glowing and you quickly hide it, and then the glow dims back to normal. You're able to show it again. But you can tell at a glance there's something special about this hammer. A layperson couldn't tell what it is exactly, but you can tell it's a special hammer just by looking at it.
Nice.
All right, so what do you do?
All right. I'm going to go back into the main room. Like, Vulcan, I understand you're very busy. I have some very delicious tea. You might find it rejuvenating, but I believe we might be able to be helping you some today. If you had a moment to talk more.
Sure, he
privately.
goes off to the side,
Kind of
one
a
of the side
wink.
rooms with you and says, yes.
We are empowered beings. and we have different skills. You are quite obviously amazing with your skill. Mine is more intellectual, but I have found a thing, a way to do a thing, and I could, for a while at least, temporarily, give you this thing, and it will help enhance your own divine energies.
I like the sound of that.
I pull out this very ornate blacksmithing hammer, just a glean on it.
He
It's
looks
like
at
I
it,
was
and
able
you can
to.
tell that his eyes light up, and he says, I don't understand why exactly, but I can tell that hammer is special.
Yes, and I wish to give the energies I share my being divine beings. We can share our energies amongst each other. It's difficult and hard to learn, but as an academic, I am a student of such things. I wish to share some energy with you. And I take the hammer, holding it by the head, and I grab the back of his hand, and I very gently but firmly place the handle of the hammer in his hand.
He grabs it, and then he holds it for a moment. He kind of flips it around and tests it, and then
No gleaming wah.
and then he suddenly out of nowhere, he holds it up like like he just got a new treasure, and then he yells out, "I am Vulcan!" And then he looks around. "I am Vulcan, the god of the forge."
You are. I am judge.
And you can see other people kind of looking in the room. It's nothing.
So Vulcan, god of the forge. A little extra help from your friends can go a long way. Divine beings sharing energies to be stronger, yes?
He bows his head and he says, "For the first time in my entire life, I have found someone who I can consider an equal." And he goes to shake your hand.
I very proudly shake his hand, back straight, shoulders square, very strong and proud stance. Yes, my friend, we understand each other.
We do.
Oh, do you have anything that might need repairing? Any minor mishaps or mistakes? Anything that could be helping? I believe my friend and I can do. We not do as you do, no, but we do know our way around a good mending. A broken thing to be fixed.
Well, if mending, you say, and he basically takes you to another part of the room, and he says, "You see these straps? They were to be thrown out, but if we could get them mended, as you say, then that would be very helpful. It would save time making new straps."
Of course, this we can be doing. He gives me the specifics on what they need to be, where they cut a
Yeah,
little
so
too short or
he shows
something.
you what they should look like, and how these ones are, how they're broken.
Okay.
And so yes, if you can make them look like this, that is exactly what I need.
Of course. My brother here and I wish not to bother your routine or your other workers. Perhaps we can take these in the back room and get it finished quietly.
Yes, that would be great.
Excellent.
Well, I
And
will return to my duties. Thank you for all your help.
and I put my hand on his shoulder and just in a good friendly clasp and say, "And when we're done, there is some delicious and very unique tea. Yes?"
Very well.
And then I go back to Cyclone and is like, "Yeah, we can help. I am very glad you're offering because I am not prepared for this. Wait a second. Actually, I need to check. I might be. Oh, I am prepared for this. Both Dave and I do have mending right now. I didn't give it up for something else during cantrip formulas.
Okay.
So yeah, both Cyclonin and Judge can take the straps into the back room, and is like, I am very much appreciating your assistance, my brother.
So
Shall
you
we
two go to
go
the
ahead
back
and-
room to mend your straps. Meanwhile, Conglomerate and Darcy and Gizzard, I'm assuming you're going to start heading toward the guard tower.
Yeah, we need to go check out.
Okay, so I think what we're
Agreed.
going to do is, it has been 2 hours, and I do have a pretty bad headache, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. But we're gonna, when we resume next weekend, hopefully with everybody feeling better, you'll be heading toward the guard tower, and Cyclonin and Judge will be using mending to repair the straps at Vulcan's place, and then we'll go from there. After you're done in town, what are you guys still planning on going to the Steeps?
Yes, I believe our plan was for before it got dark, maybe an early dinner, and then we were going to head to the Temple of Deal, where I can pick up the basilisk stuff and spend the night there, camping out, so that Cyclonin could get his special mistletoe,
Okay.
and then we would literally just spend the night at Deal, have a nice little cookout. He can go get his mistletoe, and then tomorrow morning we can head over to the Maw, was it?
The
Maw
Steeps.
The Steeps, yeah.
Okay. That sounds
So
good.
so we were planning on but after the mending